about choices, no doubt.
Choices.
Looking at your life from the inside.
That's right.
Life's about choices, no doubt. Looking at your life from the inside. Life's about choices, no doubt.
Speak on it.
Looking at your life from the inside. Life's about choices, no doubt.
West side.
Looking at your life from the inside. Looking out.
Family, it's your boy, Lamont Faison, with You Versus Yourself podcast, where the truth and you collide. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel. And remember, I'm still in the building.
Family, it's Lamont Faison with another episode of You Versus Yourself podcast. Listen, this is a serious topic today, and this topic is about the lies people tell. Why am I talking about this topic today? Because I'm getting a lot of DMs from clients. Remember, I'm a domestic violence professional, and so I'm getting a lot of DMs from clients that say, what do I do when my spouse is lying on me and the person and the things that they're saying is not true? I'm getting people who are furious about it. And I get it. I've been there. I've done it. The lies have been told on me before. Again, I understand. But what I want to tell you today is that sometimes you cannot come back to lie. In fact, in many cases, you would make it worse trying to convince other people that the spouse or that individual is lying about you. It's a task. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not hurtful. I've been lied on. Assumptions have been made that are not facts, accused of doing things that you know you didn't do and have not done. But there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you just want to go on this tour or this campaign that, hey, this is what I didn't do. No, we're not doing any of those things. I believe that the truth shall make you free. And one of the issues that we do have is that a lot of times a friend or somebody will tell you a story and you won't challenge them. You will automatically assume or believe what they're telling you, and then you will go out and tell other people what your friend said, continuing the rumor. It is hard to combat that. I remember watching one day a court case, and this is the lesson that I've learned. And the prosecution was saying all of this stuff. Man, this person did A, B, and C, and so did so-and-so, so-and-so. And then when it was all said and done, the defense got up. And I said, wow. When the prosecution got done, the story sounded like, yep, the person's guilty. But when the defense got to come in and tell their story and cross-examine the individual, now the story is different. It's the same thing with lies. If you can get the other person to be cross-examined, that story won't sound the same that it was when the person told it. It wouldn't sound the same because you would be able to poke holes in those lies. You would be able to ask questions. But most of the time, our friends don't ask those questions. They don't challenge you. They take it at face value, hear what you're saying, boom, that's it, and run with it. But I want you to be careful, people, because although lies can be hurtful when you know they're not true, do not further escalate the situation by confronting the person, because that's potentially will get yourself in a situation and cause you to get in trouble. Because the anger that we will approach that in many cases, we're approaching it in an emotionally charged state, which means soon as that person says something, the potential of you escalating that situation right there on the spot and getting yourself caught up in a potential domestic violence because you're angry at the person and you know the things that they're saying about you is not true. You got all that stuff going on within you and it comes out. And God forbid if the person says something in front of your face that is not true and you snap. There's not a whole lot you can do about lies. especially if they having to do with an intimate partner or somebody you dealt with in the past. I've been through that myself. Somebody called me one day and say, "Hey, I saw this on the internet about you." I said, "Really?" And it wasn't even true. What can I do? You could try to get it taken down. But I refuse to spend my whole life, my whole career trying to combat somebody else and their lie and their revenge mode because they're in a victim state of mind. They playing victim. Woe is me. It's hard to combat things like that. And these days on the internet, you can post anything by anybody, use a fake account, use a burner account, do all kind of stuff. And a person doesn't even have a chance to refute it. It's hard to do that. It's like a review at a company. You give a review of a company and what you said about the company was not true, but that review is out there now. And it's out there for others to see. And then so somebody else says, well, you know what? Man, I'm not going to that company because 4 people said the same thing. And then the lie continues and it continues and it continues. Next thing you know, you're giving them a bad reputation. That's why when I talk to those shops, I go in myself. I ask questions because I know how we can be as people. And just because you had a bad experience does not mean I'm going to have a bad experience with that same individual, that person, or that company. Again, it is tough to combat a lie. You go to court and you know the other person is lying, but they spew it and they put it out there in the court. This person did this person did that. And you know it's a lie. What you gonna do about it? I would say be the best version of yourself, know and rock in integrity, and make sure your spirit stays in the place of righteousness. The truth shall make you free. Yeah, it'll be free because you won't be running around focused on that, giving your attention to that because you're focused on other things. I realize it's a custody battle. I realize somebody's not telling the truth in that custody battle. And maybe both of y'all are not telling the whole truth. But when you get in there, if evidence is not presented and the judge takes somebody's side over the other, then that's a problem. We literally seen people or have heard of people doing time in prison for crimes they didn't commit. The witness or the bystander lied on the person because they was coerced. It's unfortunate because you done spent 20 years in prison for a crime you didn't commit because the person was coerced to lying on you. It's no different in relationships. If somebody decides to lie on you, and if the friends don't challenge you, for an example, in fact, let me give you an example. If you say, you know what, Lamont did A, B, and C. Okay, I'll hear that. But then my next question to my friend is, how did you contribute to that? What was your role in that? Because anytime somebody tell you a story and they didn't have no issues themselves, and they didn't have no contribution in the situation itself, and the finger just pointed at that one individual, you ought to be questioning that. And if it's that serious, tell them, let's get them both on the telephone then. So the other person can tell that story if it's that serious. Again, this happens consistently, but you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be transparent with yourself, and you got to keep it real with yourself. Again, you cannot combat lies in many cases. I know they hurt, especially when kids are involved and you're telling a story that's not true. Your dad's not around because he was A, B, and C. Girl, you know what he did to the kids? You never asked him. You never asked her. You never asked her side of the story. And then you run with the story as if it's gospel. So, Lamont, what can I do if those lies are told on me? Sit back in the cut. Keep your head up. Continue to do the right thing and tell the truth when asked. Don't put the other person down. Don't play that game. Don't be vindictive. Don't play that game. And stay true to yourself. Because I believe that the truth will make you free. That's what I believe. So thank you for tuning in. Please share this video with others. When it comes to people lying on you, be the best version of yourself. Period. Have an amazing day. And remember, being calm is cool.